Okay, everybody, hello, welcome to another Star Angels readings class. This is Transmutational Magic class, Spiritual Connections. This is the first part of this series where we're going to go explore into how to protect yourself from negative energies and knowing how to tell the difference between good and bad spirits. Excuse me as I refocus the energy. I felt a huge shift come over. I felt my guides into the room, and I do feel my dear sweet husband somewhere in the background. Alright, focusing in. This is a good example. When I felt that, I felt a shift of energy. Now this is a positive shift, which may be also very intense if there's many spirits like I have here. I live in a very active home. So when a bunch of people walk through my room, I feel kind of like a dizziness or kind of like emotional switch up. There's lots of positive energy running in and out my room. And there's a bunch of frantic energy because there's a lot of activity going on as the veil is kind of lowering as we're moving through Pluto retrograde. We'll cover that in another class, what Pluto retrograde means, which Pluto is the planet of the god of death. So, the veil is thin. Going on forward with our class, transmutation is very imperative for you to use to protect yourself. That is why we go through so many phases within the transmutational meditation. What we do with that outside of focusing on ourselves and meditating, it is also a process of shielding, also taking and giving energy. So if you encounter a negative spirit, you can shield your energy and push back any negative energy they're trying to send to you. Also, make them give back any energy they might have siphoned off your fear, anxiety, stress, or worry. There's a lot of energy that you'll encounter as you open your third eye, and you don't need to be afraid. That is number one of the things that you need to do, is manage your fear. Don't step into a circle and try to join a seance or play with a Ouija board if you're not ready. Fear is a catalyst for you to open a portal for them to feed on you. Now, this is not saying that there are times where I'm not afraid, where I have to do a case and take a look to see what's around a person. It's about overcoming the feeling of fear. Trusting that you're safe, trusting that your guides and guardians will come to you, help you shield yourself, and help you communicate with those you're meant to communicate with. Being a psychic medium, you will always encounter good, bad, and in-between spirits. There's no real good or bad, actually. It's just how the energy is carried. Evil can come from a good energy, and good can come from a stereotypically negative, evil entity. It depends on how the energy is applied. If someone, like a spirit, is coming at you and attacking you because they are defending themselves because they do not recognize you and feel that you are a threat, that's not necessarily evil. Now, when you go into a place that has a lot of vengeful energy, that is very attackful energy, and they're attacking you with your personal self problems and your own trauma and things, that is a whole nother level, and that is something that you need to learn how to fight with. So, we're going to do our meditation real quick. There's going to be a longer extended video for the meditation alone. But what we do is we make sure we're hydrated, we're centered, we're focused, and we close our eyes. And we breathe in for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We hold our breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we slowly exhale. As we do this, we start to visualize a moon to our left, a sun to our right, and our earth on the bottom of us. Focusing on breathing in that white light, that iridescent light flowing from the sun, spinning clockwise through your crown, through your third eye, through your throat, through your heart, through your solar plexus, through your sacral, through your root, and down through your feet. And we keep doing this, breathing for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Continuing in this breath, you see the sun come over from your right, going counterclockwise, spinning around you, through your body, counterclockwise, removing anything internal that is blocking you from progress, blocking you from peaking safe, blocking you from creating your shield, blocking you from being able to manifest what you want. Removing all these things, blocking your intuition, all the sexual trauma, all the physical trauma, all the emotional trauma, all different types of traumas being pushed out of you through your navel. And the flames of the sun start moving counterclockwise, moving around like a thread spindle, counterclockwise around the moon orb that's around you, that's spinning clockwise. So it's wrapped around like a belt. And as you breathe, it becomes stronger and stronger, and the lights become vivid behind your eyes. Breathing. Keep on breathing in that 757. As you hold that, those lights become stronger. You can feel them in their warmth. Now, moving forward, we usually stick around in this much longer, but moving through the process so you understand the ideas, we're going to visualize 2 portals above us and below us from the heavenly and infernal open, and 33 minor portals in a circle around us open up. We start to change our breath. We breathe in through our nose and our mouth, and we switch from our mouth to our nose. And as we do this, waters from all the different worlds pour through our portals, moving in multiple directions, creating waves around us. And as the waves move us upwards, we rise in elevation, rising 13 times through all 13 aeons. Through 24 worlds each aeon, we end up rising our elevation this way. So we're going to breathe in our nose, out our mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, out your mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, out your mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, out your mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, out your mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, out your mouth. In your mouth, out your nose. In your nose, in your mouth. In your mouth, in your nose. In your nose, in your mouth. In your mouth, in your nose. As you continue doing that, the waters propel you higher and higher. 24 times for each 13 levels. So we're going to keep, that was 1. So we're going to go number 2. Three. Doubling each movement. Nose, nose, mouth, mouth. Nose, nose, mouth, mouth. Nose, nose, mouth, mouth. Nose, nose, mouth, mouth. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. We're moving faster. 9. Faster. 10. Move it all the way up to your chest. 'Through your throat. 11. 12. 'Faster, faster, faster, faster. Move it up to your face. Feel the tension in your cheeks and in the middle of your forehead. 12, 13. Hold your breath. Visualize green light flowing from earth like a tree. As you raise your hands up, reaching for the moon on your left and the sun on your right and the portals above you, above and below. Release of golden light as you stretch your limbs up to the skies, through the universe, into the new dawn. You pull upon the golden light and the silver light of the true light and true shadow. The powers of both sides, the left hand and the right hand path. You begin the balance of both and transmutation, and you breathe in and you pull that energy from the celestial and push through the infernal, transmuting any negative energy by heavenly flame and hellfire, pulling up through the infernal, rising in that powerful energy, returning to you the gold and silver that was lost to you from those traumas, pushing it all the way up through Kundalini power of the tree of life, rising through the eons, reaching to the highest of highs of the high 13. Breathe it in, push it down. 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 Reclaim your power. You initiated your shields. Now it's time to go through to your helm, your throne room. Visualize 13 steps in front of you, and we're going to move from a pant that moves from your lower stomach, move slowly up to your sacral, your solar plexus, to your heart, to your throat, to your face. Kind of similar like we did before, but this is kind of going to be like you're running upstairs. So move to the lower place, right above your groin. Your pant will sound deep. Feel tightness, tighten your butt cheeks. Move to your navel. Running up the steps. 1. Move that upper stomach. 2. 3. Moving up to your chest. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. Holding your breath for 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Release. You arise into your throne room. You visualize it, how you envision your space. You create it. You are creator in high 13. This is your space, your throne room for your specific godhood. This is your place where you can be safe. You're basically created a shield, or created like a ship with phasers on, Star Trek fans. Alright, focusing inward again. Sorry for the joke. Shields high. Feel your own power. Call it. And this is what you need to do before going anywhere that you're going to investigate or trying to contact any spirits. Within this throne room, you can access Akashic Records, which we'll cover in another video. That's the place where you can find all that is about your spiritual journey and past, like all your past lives and all your lessons that you've learned, and also some steps of where you're going. They can't tell you everything, but you can access a whole bunch of different things to be able to access spirit world. So I like to visualize it as a computer download sometimes, or kind of like plugging in. So I use this method, which is kind of the giving energy and the receiving energy type, where I use this as a circuit, pointing up on the left hand, pointing down with the right hand. This is for your receiving energy. Then you just breathe normal. Give your higher self the power to connect with your avatar self, which is this physical form. Focus on connecting to who you are as a god, goddess, as a starseed, whatever you choose to call your highest self, to honor your shadow self and your celestial self, your infernal self, owning your god and devilhood, honoring yourself, and then allowing the universe to give you any information that you need. And using the right hand to push out anything negative that could be blocking you, or any false messages, push it into the infernal. Heaven, or the celestial areas of all the different forms, is a place of processing, creating, customer service. What people consider hell is really a place to put down and remove all negative energy, pushing it into transmutation, like breaking down, recycling, turning things into something else, putting all that fear there into the fire. Not just a place where you leave things stagnant, just pushing things to remove into power, turn it into power, and then visualize white light or gold and silver light pushing through fire, like hellfire, rising up through the 13 levels, back through the heaven place, returning down, pushing down with heavenly flame through your left hand, cycling through your body and repeating that process for 24 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24. Bringing that energy that you're given through your body. Make like a ball with your left and right hand. Rotate the left above your right, and visualize you giving energy that belongs to others that you have picked up and transmuted, that they may need back. Also charging energy that others have stolen from you as you give with your right hand and transmuting that. Also giving energy back to your spirits, your guides, your guardians, your ancestors, your gods and goddesses, because they are you. So whatever lessons that you've learned, you'll be able to give them, pulling them apart again, and then raising your right hand in the same fashion, pointing the left one down. Visualize sending uploads to your ancestors, to spirits around you, uploads to all higher entities, and transmutation of all lower energies using the heavenly flame and infernal fire that is now residing within you, and always has, but it's illuminated now, and burning away any harm doers, any negative energy trying to feed on you, transmuting them instantaneously, and then focusing on giving back the energy that has been stolen from ancestors of your bloodline, ancestors of your past life, ancestors of whatever land or property you're on, ancestors everywhere. Also helping give information and updates to your beloved dead, your guides. This is how they also learn from you. They're part of your team, so they learn from you as you learn through this world. They need the information, they need the updates, because they haven't learned what you've learned through your emotional, mental, spiritual lessons, as well as your physical lessons. So sending that to them is very important, because some spirits that are around you that are your guardians are also here to work study process. So whatever they missed when they were physical, they're learning now. Also, the Watchers have been using this method of learning for a while and have been reborn in some parts of people. That's why some of us are very, very gifted. So pushing that energy back in again, making sure that you return all positive energy to yourself, all energy that you need to be able to continue coming into center, owning your power. Here's where you can speak and contact anybody and ask that your guides, guardians circle you and protect you as you reach out to somebody. I actually did the full meditation, so this is going to be a very long video, but that's okay. I'll immediately upload this to a link and then give it to my classmates or students. Teachers are students as well. So anyway, moving forward, that's how you work your shield. And then moving forward, if you're going somewhere specifically to speak to spirits, or you're just very sensitive and you're picking up things in your home and you want to be safe, this is what you do. So some spirits can be misleading. Like, some people think, oh, there's a little girl running around my house. 9 times out of 10, if there is a heaviness or fear-based energy whenever this kid arrives, or this that's very draining, it's usually a parasitical entity pretending to be a child. Now, I see, as I didn't say demon, because demons are actually guardians that work through shadow. A lot of people like to cause chaos and blame them for everything, but there is duality in everything. Duality is not without unity, because within the Solomonic teachings, the 72 angels and 72 demons, though usually counted as against each other, they really do work with each other. They keep the balance. And the reason why there is so much chaos and fear is because we have the idea that they're separate. Acknowledging that they're one and the same is actually going to be beneficial for you. They do the same job, different ways. Good cop, bad cop, Lucifer, Christ. Moving forward, um, these parasitical entities, they like to trigger you. They like to make you feel worried, stressed, like hyperfixate, amplify any anxiety. They typically like to feed on your agitation if you're irritated with people. So taking time to meditate is really good. Also cleansing your space. Now, not every negative feeling is intentional, because spirits have bad moods too. You can be a good spirit in a very bad mood and have the same impact as you would as a very scary entity, like an aggressive, mean entity, when it's because they are emotions turned inside out. So if you are connecting with them and they feel hostile, but they look like they want to speak to you, don't be afraid of speaking with them. If they're attackful, they're calling you names or trying to push you into a negative feeling, or they feel like they're draining your energy, you can tell them respectfully to leave you alone. Okay. So if something feels heavy, overwhelming, analyze where it's coming from, sense, feel it out, and then sometimes visuals will come a little bit clearer. And sometimes what you're picking up can be residual energy from a living person. We are spirits, we're just encased in a physical form. If someone is in a really bad mood and they were just in a space and you just go there, you could be picking up something from them as well. But that being said, if you feel like this entity is trying to send you a message or get something, send them transmutation. Don't send them your energy. But here's what we do. We visualize the entity in front of us. We visualize white light coming from the moon and sun, just like us, surrounding them. Also, blocking them if they're aggressive. And then we visualize the portals opening up above and below. And we visualize the other smaller portals of 33 worlds, water swimming around them. But we project that onto them. We don't keep it. We transmute it. And this usually will help them clear off and be able to ascend. So focusing that visual will help with that. Now, if they're attacking you, it looks kind of silly, but this is what I do. Either I visualize it in my head or I physically do it. Sometimes I have to physically do it. It's where you pull back energy with your left hand, because they're trying to steal your energy by feeding off of this, your left. So you're pulling it back, kind of like a Superman, like a superhero kind of pull back, or like a Spider-Man when you go whatever. But you're pulling that energy back to you, and then pushing with the right hand heavenly flame and infernal fire. So left infernal, right heavenly, and this is plugging into them. This is keeping your energy for you. So pushing it back to them and burning away their energy if they're attacking you. Now, if it's a negative spirit because they're covered in a whole bunch of parasites, that could be actually helpful for them to remove a whole bunch of parasites, because sometimes that's why they're negative, because they're being puppeteered. But if they're fully negative, they'll become completely transmuted, and any energy that they stole from anybody will be returned. Now, I'm not telling you to be Spider-Man and run into any haunted house and like zap a whole bunch of negative entities, no. But this is something that you can use to protect yourself. Also, physical things that you can do are, of course, cleansing and organizing your space. My room is an absolute hot mess, but I sage and I keep things as organized as possible. I haven't put enough energy into organizing my space yet, but I will. Making sure that you have your crystals in several places in the room. I put my pyrite stick inside of my demon head that faces the window for protection, and then I put a mirror on my altar, which is my crystal ball, which is covered, and another mirror over here, and a mirror that is in front of my door. Like reflective surfaces are portals, so you need to cleanse them, mark them with the Guide Us, Provide Us, Protect Us sigil, which I teach you in the class, and our transmutation sigil. I will show you guys that real quick. If I can switch, it's not letting me switch the camera. Okay, but right over here. Okay, those are my sigils for that. Saging is great and all, but it's also an indigenous practice, so you can use all different types of sage. You can use cooking sage. What I like to do is get the powdered sage and rosemary, basil, and cinnamon and garlic. My friend taught me about putting garlic in things, garlic skin and onion skin, and burning that, letting it smudge through the house. You can also use St. John wort. You can use High John the Conqueror, Dragon's Blood, and Vesta powder. Vesta powder is basically like a grenade launcher for spiritual protection. If you really feel like negatively inhabited, like really heavy, acidophobia, devil's dung, and sulfur. Tell all your positive spirits to leave the house, because you don't really want them to stay gone, or at least back up, because this stuff will push everything out. So open your windows, or at least kind of open circulation. Open your door, put the cat and dog away somewhere where they won't leave or whatever. So they're kind of being, smudge yourself with it, smudge everything, and nothing negative will stay attached to you. Also doing black salt in every corner. You can red brick dust at your doorways. Washing the floor with vinegar and mixed with pine needles, black salt, dragon's blood, lemon, and doing some uncrossing oil and Florida water. Mix it up into, and then use it to mop your floors. This will help keep the spiritual energy balanced. You will always have contact with your higher guides and protectors. Once you access them, meditation will help. Be aware of mimics. Mimics are parasitic entities that like to pretend to be your loved ones, whether they're physical or in spirit. Use your own fears and anxieties, fears of losing them or fears of not knowing how they're doing or disappointing them. They will use that against you. So always focus on keeping those shields up and transmuting. I have a problem focusing because I'm always focused on teaching everybody else this. I need to focus on doing it for myself. Also, Ouija boards are not that effective because it's almost like you aren't as protected if you don't know how to transmute, and people think of it as a game, so people leave the board open. You have to say goodbye. You have to make sure it's cleansed. You have to be around positive spirits. You have to call your positive spirits so that nothing can get through, and that's what a lot of people forget. Pendulums, it's kind of like a Ouija board if you use the board, but I like to just channel that I send that heavenly flame infernal energy to charge it when I focus really hard, and then I ask my guides what yes looks like, which is clockwise, what they usually do, and what no looks like, which is counterclockwise. This is also useful in protection because you can focus on sending out negative energy by, especially this one is copper, and that's a good transmuter. So bringing the heavenly flame and infernal fire around yourself, raising up above your head or in front of you, symbolizing that you're protected and now negative energy is removed. And then you can focus on bringing your protective shield. Okay. So, there's other protective things that you can do right now as we finish this video, is that you stay true to yourself. Let no negative entity of whatsoever speak any doubt into your head, creating fear within yourself. Whatever you doubt yourself is what they feed on. So, like I said, focusing on you. You can also do candle work to do protection, and if you are going to a place where you're going to be haunting, like haunt checking and speaking to spirits, you always want to bring some protective gear, such as not only physical protective gear, because a lot of the abandoned places are very dangerous, so boots, a mask, not just because of COVID, but like to keep for ventilation purposes if it's a very old building, and just a flashlight and recorder and permission to be on the property. Most of the time you don't, but it's better if you do. Beyond that physical stuff, you need to make sure you cleanse first and after. So I'd bring Florida water, not only for that, but you always want to give an offering to the spirits there for allowing you to be entering into their space. So bring an offering of fruit, Florida, like a shot glass of whiskey, rum, Florida water, tobacco. Tobacco's a big one, especially within root work, native indigenous peoples, and those spirits who are like practice African American traditions such as hoodoo, voodoo, also Santeria for Latino cultures. They also like to bring tobacco out there. Also, in some Abrahamic religions, tobacco and cannabis actually is very lovely to offer spirits. Bringing any kind of offering is great. Leaving it somewhere like by the front door so they allow you out, or by a tree on the property. And if it's something that could go bad or cause ants, and like if you're doing someone's house, either you can like bury it, or if it's an edible thing that you don't want to waste, it's okay to offer to ancestor, offer to spirits, and leave it there for an hour, 2 hours, and you're able to eat it as well. Yeah, so also you have to make sure that if you're going somewhere like that, you do not try to insult them by assuming that you can just say, "Get out of this house, demon, blah, blah, blah." Fuck all those paranormal shows that do. I loved me some Ghost Adventures for a while, but then I realized how wrong they are. The reason why they get messed up and a lot of people who experience these things around them get very sick and messed up is because they're antagonizing. If you want something to get out of your space, you can talk to them nice, and if they aren't something nice, it's okay to have some attitude. It's okay to stand up for yourself, but don't go into their space seeking this. Just a warning. And also, don't be afraid of if you're contacted by something of the shadow nature. They have things to teach us well. Angels are very, very good, but they're also very hardcore teachers. An angel will fuck you up in a hot minute, so don't play with them. And all you people messing with the Fae, leave them alone. In the Philippines, we call them duende. We give them respect. We don't just think that they're little pretty Tinkerbells that will like be our friend and hang out with us. Not gonna lie, I'm cool with them, but I don't step into their place. If I'm taking something with them, I transmute energy to give them back. For their dimension is like a thin layer across from ours, so they are interactive where we are at, but they are another dimensional being. So when you break something in this dimension, you break it there if you don't focus on sending energy for death to create life. So if you take like a mushroom, you take a flower, visualize that heavenly flame and infernal fire and all that galactic energy, and send energy out through your right hand into it and recharge it, so that in their dimension they don't lose something when you take something from their connection to this world. Alright, this is your lesson about connecting to spirits. We're going to move forward into the next video on how to conduct yourself in trying to actually make contact and have communication. The protection comes first, then we connect. Alright, loves, this has been a class. Have a good one.